Before we begin, I want to make sure that you have the Unleashing You retreat on your radar, because just the fact that you're tuning into this podcast means the Unleashing You retreat is right up your alley. The reason I created the Unleashing You retreat is because as women, we tend to look to everyone else for the answers. We somehow think that everyone else knows better than we do, when in reality, tapping into your own intuition is actually the key to living a happy and fulfilled life. And that's how I've created the career and life I have now, and what we'll teach you how to do during this retreat. An inner shift like this will leave you with tools that you'll use for the rest of your life. This retreat is so much more than a girls' trip. This is a transformation. If I've piqued your interest, I want to personally invite you to join us in Steamboat Springs, Colorado on September 19th through the 22nd. During our time together, we will go through coaching workshops and other deep personal development activities that will uncover aspects of yourself you never even knew. Work like this would take months or years to do on your own, and we're going to get you there in just a few short days. Not to mention, we'll be staying in a gorgeous mountain home, complete with a private chef, so you don't have to lift a finger. If you are ready for a pampering getaway where you can recharge your batteries and feed your soul, send me a message on Instagram or visit acrprofessionalcoaching.com to learn more and reserve your spot. Spots are very limited, so do not wait. And I'll see you in the mountains. Now, let's get on to today's show. Welcome to Unleashing You. This podcast is your permission slip to create success your way. I'm your host, Amanda Riffey, a certified success coach and female business leader who has climbed her way up the corporate ladder. I've been through burnout and back and found the tools to bring fun and enjoyment to my career while creating powerful results and leading in a way that feels authentic to me. This show brings you conversations with women just like you who have created massive success for themselves and are doing it in their own way. We'll hear about their personal journeys of growing their career while still prioritizing the things they love most. If you are ready to be challenged and encouraged to reach your next level, then buckle up, sister, because the road to dreamy success begins here. Let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of Unleashing You. Today's episode is a little bit like a fireside chat. It is an episode that is coming straight from the heart, and it's all about the dream that I had that became a book and how that book sparked something even bigger, the Unleash Your Story Writers Retreat and Collective. So let's rewind for a minute. Becoming an author had been on my someday list for a long time. Maybe you can relate. One of those dreams that you write in your journal, or maybe you say out loud to just a few people, something that feels sacred, something that really feels tied to your soul, but it also feels really far away. Something that you think that you'll get to eventually. And then last summer, I was on a retreat in Greece, and we were doing a visualization exercise. And all of a sudden, I saw it, my book cover. It was crystal clear, honestly, as if it already existed. And that visualization sparked something in me. I just knew. Even if it didn't seem logical, I just had this knowing that this is it. Like, this is the time. This dream isn't for someday. Like, you can do this right now.
So I came home from that trip determined. I didn't have a roadmap. I knew nothing about writing a book, but I had the vision. And so I started learning everything I needed to know. I mapped out a writing plan. I built a structure and I just started. And in just 8 months, I went from an idea to a finished manuscript. Not only did I publish my book, but I also became a best-selling author. And honestly, it didn't stop there. I created my own book tour. I picked the cities. I booked the venues. I wrote the marketing. I showed up. I held space in St. Louis, Atlanta, and Denver. I got to experience and celebrate this dream with the most incredible women. The moral of the story is I didn't wait for permission. I created it. Because that's what we do when we know that our story matters, when we know that our dreams matter. And somewhere in the middle of that season between the writing, the launching, the traveling, I went on, you guessed it, another retreat. This one I wasn't hosting. I wasn't working. I was just creating space for myself. And of course, that's when the next big idea landed. And I said, what if I created a space like this, which I had done before, created retreats, but what if I created a space like this where women could write the book that they've been carrying inside? What if we had focused writing time? What if it was really just dedicated to writers and women who wanted to bring those big ideas to life? Like, what if we gave them the stillness to be able to hear their voice and the structure to bring it to life? Because I'm not kidding you when I say all of my biggest, best ideas find me on retreat. So if that doesn't sell you on the power of getting in rooms like this, I honestly, I don't know what will. And that's where my next dream was born. The Unleash Your Story Writers Retreat and Collective. Because this is so much more than a program or even a retreat. It's a full experience. Like, this container is so freaking close to my heart. Let me tell you. So we start out with a beautiful in-person retreat for intentional days of unplugging from your everyday life and plugging back into your voice. And actually, we're going to make it 5 days. 5 days of intentional unplugging from your everyday life and plugging back into your voice. You get actual writing time because, you need that. One of the biggest things that I hear from women who come up to me and say, I want to write a book, or I started a book, or that's always been a dream of mine. Because since I've been doing it, a lot of people have been bringing that up to me. And one of the biggest hurdles or objections that we find is that we don't have enough time to do it. It's really hard to fit it just into like the nooks and crannies of life. There's lots of things that we can do that way, but writing a book just seems a little bit more difficult because you get into a flow and then you want to keep going until that flow runs out. So having that actual focused writing time in a brand new setting outside of your normal day to day, and I'm talking in the mountains, beautiful Airbnb in Colorado, like I'm literally geeking out just thinking about it. But it's not just the writing time, it's also the connection with other women who share your same type of vision and dream. It's the expert coaching that you'll get at the retreat, the inspiration, the clarity, like these things just they just can't be overstated because this is the gold. This is the gold that turns a dream into a reality. And so that's where I started, was with this retreat. And I said, you know what? Most of my retreats are 4 days. Let's make this one 5 days. And let's make sure that it's not just workshops and, pampering and luxury and private chefs, which yes, we are going to have all of those things, but let's also make sure that they can walk away with so much done on their manuscript. And so as I sat with that, that felt really, really good, but it still felt like there was something that was missing. So as I was talking to a few people, some people were really interested in continuing that journey. Like, I don't want it to end with the retreat. And so what I ended up doing was adding on a 7-month writers collective where the real writing happens inside a container that will literally hold you the whole way through. My goal for every woman that goes to the retreat and then continues with the collective is that you leave that 7 months with a completed manuscript for your book, the exact publishing path that you want to take, and a launch strategy for your book. You know exactly how you're going to launch it. You know when you're going to launch it. And not only that, but you actually have the content to support that. So photos, videos, all of the things that really talk to that. So with this 7-month collective, you will get my signature framework. So I actually mapped out when I had a AI help me and said, like, can you help me pull out, like, what was the exact structure that I used to map out and write my own book? And so I've now pulled this together in a signature framework that makes it so freaking easy to be able to structure your thoughts, your ideas, pull together your stories, and create a book. I promise you, it is easier than you think it is. It is easier than you think it is when you have the right structure behind it and you kind of take that process that builds on it. I never started any chapter with just a blank page, not knowing what I was going to write, not knowing what I was going to write about, not having a story to start it, because of this process. It also includes group coaching, personalized feedback on the chapters of your book. We have not only myself, but we also have another book and writing coach who actually did this for my book. But you can submit some of your chapters to her, and she is going to give you that personalized feedback on your storytelling, big picture edits. How will you do this? Even line edits as well. We'll have writing sprints, accountability, support to make sure that we are holding each other accountable. And I say each other because I've got a little surprise that I'm going to tell you about here in just a second. But not only that, it's just a circle of women writing their powerful stories right alongside you. Like, what is more motivating than that? That was the one thing that I was missing when I wrote my book. I knew other people like my coach and mentor who had written books before. And of course, I had like my writing coach and things like that who were very in tune with books, but nobody that I knew was writing in the throes of writing a book at the same time that I was. And so imagine the connections and the bonds that you'll form, not only being in person for 5 days in a retreat setting. So anyone who's been on a retreat knows, like, you become best friends. It's just the way that it works. You know how those relationships form so much faster when you're traveling? Think of that and then add in all the personal growth, the getting real, the going deep, all of those things. Like, it's impossible to not leave so much closer. So when you have that and then you go through this 7-month experience together of writing a book together, these people will be like your soul sisters, like absolutely your soul sisters. And so we're not just stopping at writing a great book. Like I said, I want to make sure that we are bringing you from draft or even just idea. Like even if you have this idea on your heart, but you don't know where to start, this is still for you. If you're like, you know what, I think I can do this, but I have literally no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm going to write about. That's okay. But we're going to take you from draft or idea to launch. We're bringing in editors, publishing guides, visibility coaches, marketing mentors, literally everything that you need to create the exact path for your book. Because when I decided to write a book, I knew nothing about this industry. I did not know how to get an IBSN number or what the heck that even was, which, by the way, that's like the number that's on the barcode on the back of your book. I knew nothing about publishing paths or how I was going to even get this book published. I didn't know anything of like all the steps that went into creating a book. I knew I wanted to do a book tour. That I knew because the launch part is kind of my favorite. And I knew baseline kind of a little bit what I wanted my book to be about. But that's why I'm bringing in all these subject matter experts to make sure that you feel so good about your options, that you have guidance along the way, and that you don't have to go seek this out and find out all of this stuff on your own. It's literally all included in the collective. So aside from all of that, and I want to make sure that this gets its own like section because we're also going to be creating branded content. Anyone who knows me, or especially if you're in the Denver area, you know that I work with Grace Perry for all of my photos, videos, content creation when I have big events and things like that. Grace Perry Productions is partnering with me on this to create custom branded content for every single one of you who join. So I'm talking professionally done photos, videos, content that really reflect the author that you are becoming. Because when you write a book, you are not just writing words on a page. You are honestly stepping into your next level identity. You have to really do the inner work and just bring out that best-selling author identity, which for most of us, we've never been that before. Like, I have to own that I am now a best-selling author and really own it at the identity level. And Grace is helping me with that as well through some content and shoots. And she's going to be doing the same thing for every single one of the women through Unleash Your Story. And so by the time that you leave this experience, you won't just feel like an author. You will be an author. You'll have the completed manuscript in your hands, a clear plan for how you want to publish and launch it into the world, the contents, the photos, the visuals, all of the things that reflect the powerful message and the identity behind your book. And I'm actually going to take it one step further because not every single person is going to maybe want to do a full multi-state book tour like I did. Maybe you want to do a podcast tour. Maybe you want to do, small workshops. Who knows? We're going to create that launch plan specifically for you. But I do want to make sure that I give every woman in this collective, every person in this collective, the opportunity to launch their book to a community of people who are probably their ideal readers. Because when I think about the women that I call in and stories that you're likely coming to tell, these are going to be your ideal readers. So I was talking to my friend Sasha, and she sparked an idea in me, as she normally does. She sparks all of these ideas. She sparked the writer's retreat idea, all the things. She sparked an idea in me of helping these things flow together. And so what I mean by that is all of the women in this collective are going to have the opportunity to launch their book and promote their book at Unleashing You Live 2026. So if you are new to me or new to this podcast, Unleashing You Live is my big annual event that I do here in Denver, Colorado. We bring in 50 plus powerhouse women. It is just the most aligned day of workshops, speakers, female-owned pop-up shops, food, drinks, movement, connection, all of it. It's just like literally the catalyst for my year, I feel like. And the women in that room, like I know everybody says this, but anyone who's been to this event knows that this is true. And I don't say this lightly, that the women in this room truly want to support each other. They are buying from each other. They are getting each other on podcasts, and they come into this room strangers. Most of them come in strangers. And just through that one day, they leave so lit up about their dreams. They have so many new connections. They have so many new people who they are opening doors for and are opening doors for each other. And I feel like it is just the perfect avenue to be able to launch your new book. So I won't be having it in February of next year. We are going to do it later in the year next year. So stay tuned for more details on that. But you will have the opportunity to actually launch your book and make book sales at Unleashing You Live in 2026. And those who join like the VIP experience for this collective will be able to speak about their book from stage. So you get an actual speaking spot at Unleashing You Live to speak about your book from stage to your ideal readers. I am so freaking excited about this because it's going to be incredible, taking Unleashing You Live to the next level and really giving you the opportunity to showcase your work. Okay, but here's my favorite part. My real favorite part is that I am writing my second book right alongside you. So I have committed to myself. I had a couple ideas for my second book, and I've got them in my notes app in my phone because I'm like, girl, just launch your first book first, please. Like, just hang tight. And then I had the idea, what if I wrote my second book right alongside you? Like, I will be in it with you, doing all of the exercises, doing all of the homework, doing all of the accountability, not just holding the space and leading it, but I'm going to be doing it too. I'm going to be living proof that at the end of the 7 months, you can walk away with a completed manuscript. Does that scare me to say out loud because I've never really had to hold myself accountable in that way before? Heck yeah, it does. But you know me, I don't let that stop me. I'm going to say it out loud and we're going to make it happen. So I'm going to be in it with you, writing, reflecting, growing, and holding the vision with you every step of the way. Because again, writing your story isn't just about the book. It's about who you become in the process. It's about stepping into the most powerful version of yourself. So if you're still listening to this, you might have something inside of you who is whispering and saying, maybe this is for me. And I want you to know, trust me, from experience, that's not just a whisper. That's a call to finally say yes to the story that's been waiting for you to write it. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the first step. So send me a DM on Instagram at AmandaRiffy_coaching if you have questions, or just head to the link in the show notes to learn more about the Unleash Your Story Writers Retreat and Collective. I would absolutely love to hold space for you inside this container. And again, if today's episode is stirring something inside you, if you're feeling inspired, excited, or even just a little curious, do me a favor. Share this with a friend who's been talking about writing a book. Send it to someone who's ready to stop saying someday and start saying, I'm doing it. I am writing a book. Thank you so much for being here. I will be back soon with more stories, more guest interviews, more support, and more real talk as you continue to unleash your you. Talk soon, friend.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you'd like to continue this conversation, connect with me on Instagram and say hello. You can find me at AmandaRiffy_coaching. In the meantime, if you know you are ready to step into the next incredible version of you and want to completely accelerate your personal and professional growth, let's work together. I offer one-on-one private coaching as well as workshops and in-person events. There's really something for everyone. To learn more, visit my website at acrprofessionalcoaching.com or send me a DM on Instagram and start a conversation. And don't worry, I truly want all of us to succeed. So I promise I will never steer you wrong. Let's create a career and life you love. Chat with you again soon.